Hi, I'm Gary Smith, and today I'd like to talk to you about the legacy of Frederick Douglass. If you've looked at the bibliography in the abstract, you'll see that I've listed 2 PhD dissertations in which Frederick Douglass figures prominently. Also included in the bibliography are journal articles from Justor, and all of those would be helpful in researching the legacy of Frederick Douglass. Douglass was born a slave on a plantation in Maryland in either 1817 or 1818. Douglass didn't know the date for certain because, like most slaves, he did not know the exact date of his birth. However, he calculated that 1817 or 1818 would be a close estimate. Frederick Douglass was a literate man whose ability to read and write were unsurpassed. And how was this possible, since educating slaves was illegal and punishable by fine and imprisonment? At the age of 8, he was sent to Baltimore as a gift to a young married couple. His mistress taught Douglass the alphabet and rudiments of spelling, and she was thrilled at his progress and told her husband she was teaching Douglass how to read. Her husband was furious and forbade any further instruction. Douglass's mistress ceased teaching him. However, child prodigy that he was, Douglass taught himself how to read and write. After brutal beatings and a failed escape attempt, and faced with the potential of being sold south, Douglass finally escaped from slavery in 1838 and lived for a number of years in New York and Massachusetts. Douglass came to national prominence by his 3 autobiographies: Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, 1845, My Bondage and My Freedom, 1855, and The Life and Times of Frederick Douglass, which was published in 1881. There's a basic core of Douglass's narratives in all 3 books, with significant expansion in the 2nd and 3rd books. Thousands of copies were sold in America and Britain, and Douglass was propelled to the forefront of the abolition movement and leadership of the national African American community. Also, Douglass was an accomplished orator who spoke to thousands in free states and Britain. Combined with speaking tours, the autobiographies made Douglass the first Black American to have a huge audience beyond race. And also, he became an advisor to President Lincoln regarding slaves and met with him 3 times at the White House. Douglass encouraged the recruitment of former slaves as Union soldiers, and Douglass' sons served. Douglass died in 1895. His funeral was a prominent event in Washington, D.C., and praises and honors poured forth profusely. How was it possible for an escaped slave to become the most prominent African American before, during, and after the Civil War? My response is not a good one, I'm afraid. I'm just baffled by all the twists and turns in his life, and his rise to fame seems almost providential. Perhaps the best answer I can give is akin to Mordecai's comment in the book of Esther. Just maybe he came to the kingdom for just such a time as this. Thank you very much.